Let me say this, if you shoot with a conventional GoPro like this, you might actually need it no more. And that is because with this Akaso 360, which is a 5.7K 360 action camera that costs a fraction of what premium action cameras cost, after testing it in several scenarios, I genuinely started asking questions. Because when you can shoot everything around you and decide you're framing later, it completely changes how you create. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it performs, how it compares to my GoPro HERO12 that I've been using consistently for the past 2 years, the strengths and weaknesses of this camera, and whether it's actually worth your money in 2026. If you enjoy real-world test reviews like this, subscribe, drop a comment. Are you team traditional action camera or you are curious about a 360 camera? Let's quickly look at the unboxing experience. Inside the box, you get the Akaso 360 action camera, a USB-C cable, a battery pack, which also comes with the battery charger, and a protective pouch, a quick start guide, mounting accessories, and also you are getting the magic selfie stick, which is really great in terms of the packaging. It does not feel overly premium, but it does not also feel cheap either. It is very practical of Akaso's approach, straight to the point. This gives you everything that you need to start shooting immediately. Think for a budget conscious product like this Akaso 360, it makes a lot of sense. Now let's look at the design and build quality. The Akaso 360 features dual lenses on each side, which allows to capture full spherical footage. It has a touchscreen display for previewing footage and also navigating the settings. The body feels lightweight, solid, and compact. It does not feel as rugged as my GoPro HERO12. It does not feel fragile either. For everyday content creator use, it feels reliable. It is weather resistant, not weather sealed or waterproofed. So it is not something that you can compare to the GoPro, which is fully waterproof. And so if you are into heavy water sports or diving, that is something you need to consider. Batting placement is intuitive. Overall, it has a clean and minimal design that makes sense for creators, and also it's very good in terms of the use case. And I think that the build here and the design is really nice. I like how the sides are built in such a way that it becomes very easy to hold for longer sessions. Let's look at some of the predominant and key features of this Akaso 360 action camera. The most important feature is a 5.7K 360-degree video shooting recording. You capture everything around you and decide your frame later during editing. It also shoots up to 72 megapixel 360 photos, which is huge for a camera like this. The invincible selfie stick effect is one of the most creative features that I've found with it. When mounted on a stick, the stick disappears in footage, giving you that floating camera perspective. It includes super smooth stabilization and horizon lock, which keep footage steady and level even when you rotate the camera. For working shots, sports coverage, or creator POV setups, this is a big difference. There's also an AR tracking, which is something I've come to really love about this, which allows for easy subject tracking after recording. A lot of features packed within this Akaso 360 that I think for a budget price of this nature, it really makes a lot of sense and also gives it more premium quality than usually you find for this price bracket. Now let's look at the performance of the Akaso 360 in whether good lighting situations or bad lighting conditions. In good lighting, the footage looks sharp and detailed, colors are natural and not overly saturated. Compared to GoPro's punchy and contrasty look, this feels slightly more neutral. Stabilization works well for walking, casual movement, and behind the scenes coverage. Horizon lock especially helps with filming dynamic movement. This is a microphone test of the Akaso 360, and the microphone is just adjusted to the best possible best I can get out of this. I think that the microphone is quite decent for the price-value ratio. I think it records great For a working shot like this, I think the microphone does a really great job in terms of giving the best quality out of this. I think the image quality also over here is quite good, especially in daylight like this. Low light performance is where this camera has its own limitations, and clearly you are going to see it compared to even my GoPro, which is about 2.5 years now. And that is because that there's a lot of noise that appears quickly in the shadows that you're going to find with this Akaso 360. Battery life is around 60 minutes at 5.7K recording, which is decent for a category of this nature. So when you lower the resolution to, let's say, 4K at 60 FPS or 4K 24 FPS, it means that the battery life over here is going to increase dramatically to about, let's say, 2.5 hours. The biggest performance advantage is the framing. You can shoot once and create vertical clips for TikTok, Horizon, edits for YouTube, and dynamic cinematic angles from the same footage. That level of flexibility is something that was missing with my traditional GoPro, which makes it more dynamic in terms of the use cases. Now let's look at the editing workflow with Akaso 360. Editing with Akaso 360 footage is actually more easier than I anticipated. I've actually not shot with a 360 camera before, and so this was my first time. That was quite novel for my use case over here. I did all my edits on my Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. After shooting, I connected the camera to the Akaso 360 app over Wi-Fi and imported my clips directly into the app. From there, I scroll through the 360 footage. Reframing is the best aspect for me. I set keyframes to control where the camera should look during the play. If I want the shot to start wide, then follow with a player during a basketball clip or anything like that, I simply tap to set the frame points. The app handles the movement smoothly. It's easy to work and play with the footage that you get from the Akaso 360. Sometimes realize that GoPro's footage tend to be a little bit more demanding, and in contrast to that, even this has much more resolution than this. This is much more tasking to edit than the Akaso 360, and that's because I think this is much more tailored for convenience. They are not giving excessive codecs to edit with, and that makes the workflow easier. How does the Akaso 360 compare to my trusty GoPro HERO12 that I've been using for more than 2 years now? I shoot all my BTS and behind the scenes as well as POV shots with my GoPro HERO12. And that's because that when I go for weddings, basketball or football, sports events and all that, I use this one. I trust it a lot. It's what's great in low light. Confidently say it still wins in durability, waterproofing, pure single lens image quality, color science, and extreme sports reliability. However, the Akaso 360 wins in flexibility, post-production reframing, dynamic social media content creation, invincible selfie stick, and pure price point. It has a different philosophy of shooting. If your shots are structured and planned, then I think that the GoPro HERO12 makes a lot of sense. If your content is unpredictable, creator focus, dynamic intuitiveness that you're looking for, the 360 from Akaso becomes more powerful and the right attention to go for. So who is the Akaso 360 actually meant for? The Akaso 360 is ideal for content creators, vloggers, travel filmmakers, sports and behind the scenes action coverage, YouTubers who want multiple angles from one take. Let's look at the price of the Akaso 360. The Akaso 360 typically ranges between $169 to $199 depending on the bundle that you have. When you compare that to premium action cameras, the pricing becomes very aggressive. You are paying significantly less while gaining creative flexibility. For many creators, that value proposition is very enticing. The Akaso 360 is not all rosy and sunshine. It also has its own downsides and possible weaknesses that easily get to be noticed with it. The first downside is low light performance. It struggles once light conditions drop, and that's something that my GoPro HERO12 has never been a problem for me. The second weakness or downside with the Akaso 360 has to do with the fact that it is not fully waterproof without additional protection. Is the Akaso 360 actually worth buying? If you already own a traditional action camera like the GoPro HERO12, this is not a replacement. It's a different tool for a different kind of work. But if you are buying your first action camera in 2026, and more flexibility and versatility is what we are looking for, then the Akaso 360 might actually be the smarter purchase. After testing the Akaso 360 in real world shooting scenarios, in different kind of situations and angles and content, I can confidently say this: it's not trying to be a traditional action camera like the GoPro or others, and not also pretend to beat any premium package. Instead, it is trying to make content creation more flexible and at a cheaper and relatively affordable price. If this review helped you, like the video, subscribe to the channel. My name is Beku, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace out.